Hey, as you can see, this is my shop. This is a familiar spot that you've seen before, but I've got something exciting to share. This is going to be my old shop. That's right, I'm building a new shop. I'm excited to tell you all about it. Let's get started. I've got my son Oliver here with me. He is just not in the napping mood today, I guess, so I'm gonna just wear him. And so you guys can enjoy whatever he does, probably spit up all over. Anyway, he's along for the ride. It's been a dream of mine ever since we've got this acreage to put up a shop that's big enough to be what I would say is a workable shop for any future business possibly, or just a great hobby space to have. A place for my family and friends to come and use as they need. But I have the space out here on this property and I want to utilize it to the best of its ability and to do what I love to do. There are other buildings on the property, but nothing obviously as this one. It's divided into three. There's other sheds that are a little bit more dilapidated. Dilapidated? Is that the right word? I'm gonna go with it. So it just didn't make sense to use any of those other buildings, and in the end I kind of wanted something a little bit more bigger and open. I just can't not hold these little precious hands. Oh. Let's run through the specs. So the building is gonna be 30 feet wide by 64 feet long. Now, at first I'm gonna just divide that straight in half and call half of it my shop and try to close that in and even heat and cool it as soon as possible. So that'll be a 30 by 32 working workshop. So this is probably 32 this way, but it's only like 9 foot wide. So at least 3 times bigger than this spot right here where all my tools are. And so I'm really excited about that. As I built the post frame building online, I wanted to run through what I chose as building materials and whatnot, just in case you're doing the same and wanted to know what I chose and to make decisions based on that, or just out of curiosity. So like I said, the building width is 30, the length is 64. Those basically are like easy truss sizes at 30. 64 is 8 foot spacing, so that's what my post spacing is, 8 foot. Same with truss spacing, 8 foot. I'm gonna do a concrete floor, it's gonna be 4 inches thick. The inside ceiling height is gonna be at 12 feet, so pretty tall for a normal shop. This is obviously not that tall. Otherwise, standard as far as metal siding, metal roof. I'm gonna do white on the outside of the exterior and then black roof. Very farmhouse, you know. I chose to do laminated columns instead of just 6x6 beams. One reason is that they're definitely gonna be straighter, being 3 2x6 lumber sandwiched together. And then the second reason is that when we put on the trusses, and you'll see later on in the videos, there's actually already a built-in notch kind of that works out well. Yeah, the foundation. I'm putting these posts not in the ground at all. They're actually secured to concrete pylons, pillars that have been poured, and brackets that were wet set. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Let's see, grade board. I went with the 2x10 grade board. I honestly have no idea why I chose that. I just figured the taller the grade board, the more secure, and I don't know. It looks good. The building will have a 1 foot overhang on the side walls and the end walls. I chose to go with a 6-inch fascia board, which basically just is required for if you're putting what are those things that hold water? Gutters. In this case, I didn't put gutters in the building's material list, so I'm hoping that I can find a reasonable contractor to come out and do gutters that are seamless at 64 feet. Dun, 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 dun. Building use, it is for residential. That probably matters when I got my permit. I did go through the permitting process. I Got the plans from online. I submitted the permits to my local city and they approved it after, I don't know, it was 2 or 3 weeks of waiting and not hearing, and then it is permitted, it's ready to go, and there are inspections, I guess. The roof pitch is a 412, very common in these type of metal shop outbuildings. 7, I think, 7 windows, and then the garage door is a 16 by 10 foot garage door. So a very large garage door. I chose the ceiling height of 12 feet so that I could get a 12-foot garage door. Just if there was any time where we had something really tall and wanted to still bring it into the shop in the garage side, then we could. So many jump cuts in this video, so bear with me. I am doing the premium vented closure pieces on the top. The soffit is vented as well, so there should be good ventilation in the ceiling. I chose to do house wrap on the walls and the roof. Let's talk about the process of getting ready for this post frame building. So obviously there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of design choices to make. I did end up hiring a contractor to come in, like I said, and find a nice grade that was level and not in the way of water movement. I actually had them bring up the spot where this building is quite a bit. They estimated it was going to be about 40 truckloads of dirt. And so I got the contractor local to me here, and he arranged all that. He brought in all the dirt. He had this giant sheep's foot roller, a giant bulldozer, and they leveled the pad. I'm pretty sure it was in one day. Crazy difference. It's pretty high too. On the lowest spot, they probably raised it about 4 feet to basically nothing, which seems crazy high, but it is what it is. And I know now that like water's not going to go down into the shop ever. The third thing I asked for him to do was lay out the building and set the foundation. So the foundation in a post frame building, obviously, if you know anything about them, is posts. So in this case, I didn't want my columns to be in the ground. I wanted to be secured to concrete with brackets. It's a pretty common new way to do it. I would say it's probably one of the best ways to do it, if not the best way, as far as longevity of the building. They did the inspection, got the okay, and then the next day had concrete trucks pouring cement into these holes. Then they wet set all of the brackets, except for the corner ones, and we went from there. Super quick, super easy. They did a fantastic job. It was very level from the start. I talk about in the next video how level each column bracket was compared to the next one over a 64-foot span, and it was within like ½ inch to an inch. So very well done. Very happy with the decision to go with a contractor to do that part versus me trying to figure out how to do that, make sure it's square, make sure it's level. I really can tell getting into the building process so far somewhat, it has made a world of difference, I think, as far as the building being square and going up super well. Okay, so last, what does this video series entail? I don't know. I think 4 to 6 videos. I've got one going right now currently, right behind that wall is where the building is, and the sidewalls are on. I'll show you a little bit of it. Join me on this process. Join me through the videos. Subscribe. If you have questions, leave me some comments, and as always, thanks for watching. He's done. Okay. Okay, we'll go in. We'll go in. Okay.